Greetings, welcome to another edition of the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Today we're talking about a band called Lineshare, who are about to release their first 7 albums remastered with new artwork for the booklets. So these albums are fantastic albums, like I said, they sound fantastic remastered. So I'm going to tell you about the band and the lineup. Now the band were originally formed back in 1987 in a place called Sanderville in Sweden. So the lineup back in the day could feature Anders Esberg on vocals. Anders has also been involved with a band called Twilight, who did about 3 albums, a fantastic band, and is also the current singer for the band Sorcerer. Also in the very early stages of the band's history would have guitarist Lars Chris, who's also in the band now. Back then they'd also have Kay Backlund on keyboards, would have Andy Loos on bass, and Johan Kullberg on drums. In 1994, the band would release their debut album for Japanese label Zero Corporation, and it was a self-titled album. This was a great album, I remember it well. I remember reviewing this back in the day. It was a really strong debut album, and Anders' vocals were fantastic, and they still are today. He hasn't changed much at all. In fact, his voice has got stronger recently in the band Sorcerer, but he's a fantastic singer, a typical Swedish singer, powerful, melodic, has a great range. Now the band's music is melodic Swedish metal with elements of progressive rock. They're a really good band. At times they kind of remind me of a band called Nation. The band would also have elements of Candlemass, a really good doom band from Sweden, and also the melodic elements of Yngwie Malmsteen. So you could say the band are a cross between progressive doom metal but with melodic elements. So there's a range of everything there for everybody. So you've got your doom, you've got your melodic metal, and you've also got your progressive metal. Little hint of Dream Theater, but not too much. As a debut album, I thought the Lineshare self-titled album was a fantastic album. This would follow by the second album, which was called 2. This would be the first album that the band signed with Century Media Records. A fantastic album that had a slightly different approach to the production. A little bit more solid sounding drums. The guitaring was fantastic. There was some really good playing here, and Anders' vocals had certainly improved since the debut album, but his debut album, it did a fantastic job anyway. So the second album 2 was a really good album, really well worth checking out. Now the second album 2 would also feature new bassist at the time, Pontus Esberg. As we all know, Pontus is also playing bass guitar for King Diamond, as well as Treat and Night Flight Orchestra, as well as many other artists. In 1999, the band would release their third album, which was released on Massacre Records. This was called Fall From Grace. Another fantastic album, showing the progressive elements and the doom metal as well as the melodic stuff. Like I said, it's a great album, they're a great band, they had some really interesting songs, really well put together, solid material. Now, the band would release our next album, which was called In Trance. This was released on Massacre Records. This album was released in 2001 and would feature new vocalist Tony Neva. Andy Esberg left to continue with his band Sorcerer, as well as other projects. Another band that he was involved with, Anders, was a band called Section A. Some of you guys might have their albums. Another great band. Now, in 2007, the band released their next album, which was called Emotional Coma. This would also feature new vocalists. We've got Nils Patrick Johansson, who's been with the band ever since this release. Nils is a singer that kind of reminds me of Jorn Lande, very much like Dio, and a little bit of Tony Martin. So if you like all those 3 singers, you're really going to like Nils' vocals if you've not heard them before. This album would also feature new bassist who also plays keyboards, Sambo Alexisson, with drummer Richard Eversons. Now this album would see the band turn into a more darker, doomier band. Still a great band, the music was getting darker, but it was a really good album, and it was such a shame to see Anders leave the band to form his band Sorcerer, but Nils is doing a great job. He's still with the band now, he's performing well. In 2009 the band released their next album, which was called Dark Hours, followed by an EP in 2018. But the band haven't done anything for a long time since then, so I'm pretty sure with the release of these remastered albums, with that new artwork, the band should be in the studio very soon recording a new album. Let's hope so. Now I could also hear elements of Black Sabbath in this music, as well as I said, Dio and Tony Martin. And so rightly so. I mean, they're fantastic bands, and there's something about Swedish metal bands, they always seem to have this element of doom metal. Don't know why, maybe some Swedish bands up there can comment and let me know Why do you guys have so much elements of doom metal in your music? Nothing wrong with that, it's great to hear. Nils is a fantastic singer, as we all know, but sometimes people may think he's trying too hard to sound like Dio. Yeah, Dio's the master, we all know that, he's a fantastic singer, rest in peace Ronnie, but Nils I think is trying a little bit too hard at times to sound like Dio. But he does stand out, he's a fantastic singer and very strong, has a fantastic range. Now I only have a sample of the first 7 albums remastered, so I've got like 20 songs I can go through from various songs from each of those albums, but they sound fantastic remastered, and Nils is doing all the old songs that Andy's did in the past. So I'm just going to tell you what songs that I have and what I think about them are the best. Now I've just been listening to one of the songs on the sample that was sent to me, a song called Aim High. This is a really cool song and Nils really performs really well. The music's great, some catchy lyrics here, some catchy tunes, a fantastic song all around. You know, it's got that doom elements like I said, but it's a really good song, really nice solid production as well. I also like the song Another Desire. This is a really cool song and Nils really performs well. Very strong vocals, fits in really well with the music. It's a fantastic song, very catchy, very melodic. It's in your face, but it's a really good song. Nils performs well, so does the band. It's like I said, it's remastered and they all sound fantastic. Another song that I like on this album is called Baptized in Fire. This is very much like Dio. His vocal ranges really do sound like it, and if you close your eyes you'll probably think it is Dio, or maybe Orlando. Fantastic song, really well worth checking out. The song's called Baptized in Fire. Chain Child is another song, it's a really fantastic song. You know, it's kind of like Dio but more power metal. So if Dio was doing a power metal album, this would probably be a really good band to be in. So it's like Lion Share mixing power metal with Dio influences. Great band, great song. Now another song is called A Heavy Cross to Bear. This is really Black Sabbath influence, the Tony Martin era. It's a fairly catchy song, it's not heavy or fast, but it's a really cool song. It's got some really good riffing. And like I said, this song really does remind me of Tony Martin's Black Sabbath era. I guess you could say the keyboards on this song very much remind me of early Yngwie Malmsteen, the real haunting sound that he had in the background. It's a fantastic song and it goes really well with that Black Sabbath era that I told you about. Now it's interesting to see that the band have done a cover of Motorhead's Killed by Death. Very interesting version. We all know Lemmy's got that raspy voice, and he's been doing it for many years, God rest his soul. And to where Nils doing it, slightly in his style, it's kind of strange. It kind of made me chuckle a little bit. But respect to the band for giving it a go. You know, have a listen to this if you get a chance. It's an interesting version. Obviously not as quite as heavy and raw as the original, but they've done a good job of it and it's interesting to listen to. So check it out. It's Killed by Death by Motorhead. Other remastered songs that I really like that have been sent to me is a song called Pentagram. It's real in your face, double bass drumming, solid song, great vocals, great riffing. Check it out. The next song I like is called Phantom Rider. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Judas Priest Hell Patrol. Not obviously the greatest of vocals like Rob Halford, but Nils does a great job. The music's powerful, in your face, it's got a good drive to it. It's well worth checking out. Like I said, the song's called Phantom Ride. Now the song Sins of Our Father is a really cool version done by Nils, originally done by Anders. I like the way it's been done, I like the solid sound, the remastering, the vocals are interesting to hear. Obviously different from Anders, but they're really well worth checking out. It's a really cool song, so listen to that one if you get the chance. Now the song Sultique is a fantastic song. This is a song that was done by Lars and also Nils. It's a fantastic version, remastered. It sounds really solid, nice clean sound, great drums, fantastic vocals, really well put together. Like I said, it's been remastered, so everything sounds better and stronger. So I really like Lion Share. They've done some fantastic albums. Like I said, I hope they do a new album soon. These albums sound fantastic remastered. It's nice to hear the albums with a different singer, but I also like Anders' vocals with the original releases. So check them out. If you've not heard them before, check out the remasters. If you have the old albums, check out the remasters anyway, because you get to hear them with Nils on vocals. So I'm going to give these albums, or these songs that are released from the albums, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. So for each album, they'll get 4 out of 5. They're all fantastic albums. So thanks for watching, Metalheads. Enjoy the albums if you get a chance to listen to them. Let me know what you think of these albums. Be safe, stay metal, and keep on rocking.